Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to Knoxon, Montana. Now, I realize, oh, this is one of our party here. He's coming in. I didn't know he was going to be here. So, and of course, we have other guests here of the deer back here. Now I realize that I've got the sun at my back and it's not really the proper way to shoot on this, but you know, hey, what the heck. Hey, let's take a look at this is Leon, who owns the Roberts Ranch out here, and this is one of his planes. I don't know how many he has really, maybe this is the only one, but he's out here having a good time, giving some of us a ride in the plane, and just having a good old time. So, okay, maybe he's going to come around again. I don't know. Maybe. And then we still have the deer out here. Oh dear. Where are they? There they are. And we got horses up here. I'm on this tripod that's really kind of not at the proper setup for all of this. So, okay, well, there's our deer. And okay, let me get to the meat of what I am wanting to tell you about in this video, which is that that it's a lesson learned hard. And so I had a lot of success with Shadow Crystal, and it was a company where we sold game codes, and those game codes were, you know, it was a pretty successful thing. Oh, is he coming back around again? There he is! Oh my goodness. I'm just not quick enough to get him. Oh my. So, yeah, okay, I'll quit trying. He's buzzing us out here. It's a good old time, what do you say? So, with Shadow Crystal, we were madly successful. We had a lot of success, and things went really good and everything. But, you know, I had such success that I was making really good money, and I decided that I was going to travel the country and kind of work on some other projects and everything. And you know, so I left it up to the people that were that I had hired to run the show and everything. And you know, I trusted in them to make sure that everything was proper. And so I'm just really trying to be really careful about how I word things here, because I want to be very specific, because I want to tell you about that $243,000 went missing. And but I need to not point any fingers, because no one has been charged. And so, with not being engaged with the company, I was you know, I was handling things as they would call me and stuff like that, but I wasn't like doing the books daily. And by not doing the books daily, what that allowed to happen was that money was mismanaged, stolen, misplaced, whatever. Or bad business decisions were made that negatively affected the company. Now, would we have been in the same situation with, because when I came back, there was literally almost $250,000 that was missing. And I spent a good year away. And so that's a lot of money to go missing, you know. And how does that affect the company? That affected the company so severely that when I realized it was missing, and these other companies that were owed this money and that we couldn't find it anywhere, when you're dealing with companies that are outside of the country, they don't have the same laws that we have here in the United States, and one of them started fining us, I think, about 10% a month. And so the interest on that money You know, so if it was 200,000 that was owed the first month, then it was 220,000 the second month, and then it would be 22,000 added onto that to make it 244,000, and then it would be from 244,000 be almost 300,000, or no, it'd be 275. You know, this is it's an exponential scale on all of this, and so that is you know, that's not okay. I don't think that's allowed in the U.S., but we were dealing with companies that were not necessarily in the U.S., and whatever their laws are is what they can do. So the issue here is about staying engaged. And so I want to tell you what I've done to make sure that nothing like that ever happens again. And so at the very least, it requires that you stay in touch with the numbers. And what that means is that, like right now, I have an Excel spreadsheet where we gather numbers from several different places, we put them all in, and it needs to everything balance up. And it's not just balancing up saying, okay, the checkbook balances down to the penny or something like that. It needs to balance based on stock levels, based on, you know, percentages of stuff that's paid out, and different things like that. Hey, let me change my view here, and let me rearrange this here, and let's see, can we get the deer in the background here again? Where did he go? There he is, and he is going that direction. So anyway, I'll move over to this side. The fact is that that you have to keep track of all the little things, and you have to have accountability. So even if you have somebody else that is putting together this data for you daily, you have to proof then their stuff. You cannot 100% depend on others telling you exactly what the numbers are, because they can be fudged. And so you have to be able to go back and learn that stuff, to figure it out, to verify all of those numbers. And so to start something like this, you have to make it yourself and do it yourself, so that you 100% understand how all those numbers work. Because if you just go off and don't pay attention to any of it, and then things start going missing, who is there to notice? If the person who's doing the books, especially, is someone who is being dishonest, or that losses are happening and they are not picking them up, both can happen. One can be an honest mistake, another one can be a dishonest intentional act. And if that is happening, it has to be picked up, because what will happen is it will destroy your company if you don't pick up on that. And so, and that requires corrective action, whether or not the person is incompetent and they didn't catch that stuff, or the person is committing theft, embezzlement of the company. Both equal being fired, and the embezzlement would equal criminal charges. I can tell you that because of this happening, we went through, because it had happened over actually a period of about 1.5 years, we had forensic accountants come in and go through everything to try and figure out where this money went to. And we could not figure out definitively where it went. There was one person that was in charge of all the finances, and then there was another person who was doing the books, but the bookkeeper only knew information that they were being told. And so while the books should show this information, this is why you can't just go on a report from the books. It's because it won't show you when it's happening. And so here's another thing that I've learned. Okay, like right now I'm on vacation, and since I'm on vacation, obviously I'm not in touch with all the numbers. I know, what's this? Marky's on vacation, he's out here doing videos. Well, you know, this to me is vacation time. This is fun. So So I have been able to loosely spot check some of the numbers as I have internet access, but I haven't been able to do a daily check. And so once I get back, I will do a full check and we'll make sure that all of the numbers line up within percentages. There is a percentage range of slop. You'll have to figure out what that is. In my case, it's about 4%. And that's because some orders come through with affiliates, some don't have affiliates, some products pay 1%, some other products pay another percentage. And so it's just a range that when I have been able to balance the books all the time, that I've seen where things float depending on the market. It's all in about 4%. If things start falling outside of that, then I start looking for what's going on. And I look not only when things go too high in the percentage, but also when things go too low. And if they go into these ranges, outside of these ranges, and then I have to 100% be able to explain it. Because if I can't explain it, then I have a problem. Now, one other thing that I've run across is that sometimes when you're looking up all the bank transactions, you're looking up things like PayPal, credit card transactions, you're looking at chargebacks, you're looking at all kinds of stuff. You can miss some stuff from time to time. And sometimes there's actions that happen maybe once every 6 or 9 months, something like that, and so you've not encountered that before and you can't figure it out. Well, you wait and it should recover within the next couple of days. And so you'd mark down that loss and you'd pull it over, or that overage, and you'd pull it over for the next couple of days and it should correct. But if it doesn't, you've got a bigger problem and you've got to do more research. I have, with our company where we sell game codes, I have done as far as going all the way from the money that's sent from our accounts to the game publishers. The game publishers convert it into codes. The codes then get resold, and I've made sure that at every step of the way that we've gotten everything that we paid for, and that every customer has been sold one of these codes, and that none of them went missing. So anyway, I hope that helps give you kind of a head start on things. When you start to bring on employees, that's when you have to start doing this for sure. It's a good practice to do it even if you're on your own, because it will show you when something's happened that's out of your purview. Like, what if you had a hacker that was draining off just a couple of codes, or a couple of dollars worth a day, or an employee that was dipping into the cash register and maybe taking 20 bucks a day, but that cash register does $2,000 a day in sales. Would you notice that? Maybe not. And so you need to know these things, or you need to know when theft is happening of your product, because you may not realize that. You may just say, oh, I didn't make nearly as much on this stuff this month, not realizing that someone somehow stole 10% of them. And so it's all very important. I use Excel to do this. It's really easy equations. It is all of the stuff that is an asset, which is money in the bank, or banks, money that's in transit between the banks, the money that is in transit that you have sent to game publishers or for product where product has not been received yet, and then you add in all of the inventory, and then you minus debts. So let's say you're on net terms with some of your inventory, and so you need to take those are then debts that you would put in, and you'd minus that back out. It'll all come out to a total company value. And then you'll have a gross profit and a net profit, and your gross profit should stay within a certain range every day, and that's where you know it's off. The net profit, because you can pay for, you buy a new computer, so obviously, and that computer was $2,000 and you made $1,000 profit, you're obviously in the hole $1,000 for that day. But the fact is that it is, but gross, you did okay, and you can explain why there's that deficiency because you made that purchase. I hope that helps, it's a little bit disjointed. If you guys need more help with something like that, maybe I can make a follow-up video to this. I'll read your comments, but that is how I have figured out to keep controls on things, and if you are not the one doing your numbers yourself, there needs to be multiple people doing the numbers, and they need to not be in collusion with each other or whatnot, so that when one of the two is a variance, then something's wrong with one of those, and that's the trail you'd go down. And actually banks do this. They keep multiple records of books, and so that both of them should simultaneously balance all the way down, and when one doesn't, then they know that there's an issue in that portion. So hope that helps. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.